Hello everybody, Jose Rodriguez here. It is Monday the 19th of December. Santa Claus is right around the corner. I can hear him coming. I hope he brings me a computer for Christmas. Anyway, today I saw a comment or a question, I might say, by an individual who owns a studio, and this is a studio that specializes in wedding type photography, and he wanted to know what printer he should get. Apparently he is tired of sending out his work to private labs and he wants to start printing on his own in-house, but he's not very familiar with the process of in-house printing. So anyway, he was just asking basic questions. We asked him what is the maximum width he would like. He said 24 inches, so that kind of left the P800 or some of the smaller Epson or Canon printers out in the wind. And of course, we then suggested something in the larger capacity Epson printers, maybe a Canon IPF 6400, which is a very, very good printer. And then he stated that he also wants to be able to print little note cards, such as these, and invitations and save the dates and that type of thing. Well, that knocks out the 24-inch right back out of the game because those printers have minimum size stock that they can print onto, and usually it might be 8 by 10. So we suggested he get both the large printer and a smaller printer like a Pro 1 or Pro 100 or an R3000 from Epson, anything like that, and he would be able to then also print these. Although he could print cards onto 24-inch material if you just collage all of the images, multiplying them onto a document and print a bunch of them, and then he would have to trim them, which adds to the time and expense in the process rather than directly going ahead and print his own on stock such as this. Now, that took care of that problem, and I hope he is able to make a decision soon, and he will let us know what he decided to do, and then we can give him some more advice as to what to do and how to handle that big 24-inch printer. Now, speaking of smaller prints such as these, often what happens is even something like a 13-inch Epson printer may not handle a 4x6 as well as it handles a, say, a letter size piece of media. But that's something that is, they claim that that will never happen, but I've heard of a lot of people having trouble printing smallish type media on a fairly large printer like a 13-inch or 17-inch width printer. So we'll see. I have to explore that. Now, there was also another question. In fact, several people asked me about printing note cards on their regular printer and what they would have to do. Well, it's no problem whatsoever. I have video on the Pro 1 and I think another printer that I used to print some note cards, and I printed them on glossy paper. And I believe this was the Pro 10, and this is again Pro 10. Now, here's what happens. When you buy greeting card stock, it's usually pre-scored, and it is of a specific size. When you fold it together, you get like a 6 by something by whatever. Okay, that size, it's always a non-standard size. So when you load that onto your printer, you'll have to create a custom size paper, and you will not be able to print borderless. A lot of these people want to print borderless, and I'm sorry to tell you, but you cannot do that. So the only way to get away with that would be to say, use regular paper, print the actual size that you need, trim it, score down the middle, and then hope that it matches when you fold it. That's a lot of work, and that's a lot of if, and that's a lot of maybes. What I do is I buy my greeting card or note card stock from Red River. It comes pre-scored. Of course, it is a size that does not permit me to do borderless. So my images are always such that the backgrounds are always gone. They blend into the paper base. And as you can see, those flowers are basically just floating. Now, if I was to print an image with an actual border or a where the background is visible, then that would create a border. And what I've been doing here is I leave a 1/4 inch border all the way around. And I made a template in Lightroom that allows me to just load images onto it. Now, Red River provides you also with Photoshop type templates that you can load into Photoshop, drag your images to it, and then print them on their material. Okay, and their material is wonderful. They have many different types of paper, different surfaces, different finishes. So for this demonstration that I did on that video, I just used a glossy paper. I think it's Polar Gloss from Red River. And the Pro 10 did a magnificent job. There is no gloss differential whatsoever on that paper. So again, that's all I wanted to pass on to you. This is going to be very quick. If you want to get into the game, it's now holiday time. And it may be a little too late to get into it now, but maybe for next year. You want to make your own greeting cards, note cards, any kind of specialty card, and you want to use pre-cut, pre-scored material from Red River and other companies that may also provide that. Remember that you cannot print borderless. You will be forced to impart a border onto your finished card. So it's best to create an image that allows you to do that, such as this. Okay, you don't see where the border would begin or end, and that is done on purpose. All of the images that I use for my greeting cards are same way. They have a white background. Now, I have taken some landscapes that I use for certain types of, like memories and that type of romantic type cards where they will have a border. And what I'll normally do is I'll put a little black score around the image to not only show that there is a border, but to set it, visibly right there smack, that you can see that this is indeed an image and not, with a border. And the little score really helps it stand out. You can add a score in Photoshop. You can add a score in Lightroom printing module. So that is it. Please consider doing that. It's a lot of fun. You can make some money at it. Try to get my daughter to start a business doing that, but she's just very difficult for her to take those first few steps. She's already in the greeting card business. She works for a local company here that specializes in custom printing, and they do lots of event type packages and weddings and that sort of thing. So, okay, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this little short video. Please subscribe and share. And by the way, gosh, I just checked again, 4,500 plus subscribers. What's going on? It's amazing. Thank you so much, everyone. Again, I promise you that next year is going to be even better. Everything I have checked so far, I am getting so many questions from new people that just land on the channel. I think maybe YouTube is probably suggesting my videos a little bit more out there, so people are kind of landing onto my videos and they have been watching them, and that's good. All right, that is it. Again, share. I already said the other two, so share, and happy printing, everybody. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy New Year. I have a few more videos that I will get out before end of the year, and next year you guys are going to get bombarded with some amazing stuff coming from this printing dungeon here. So again, thanks again. Happy printing, everybody. Bye-bye.